Hey friends, are we all ready for the next step forward? I certainly am, and that is dealing with guts. Not a sexy topic. No. I gotta tell you, I've never been interested in what's going on underneath the skin. I don't really want to know medical things, but I'm being forced to know this stuff, and that includes now gut health. Gut health, I think, has been a bit of a buzzword for a little while now. More medical science keeps coming out about how much your gut health affects your overall health, but still not a lot of information, or too much information and not all of it helpful, something like that. Dealing with my gut health has been on my list for a little while now, especially since it was my neurologist that first alerted me to it. One of my neurologists told me about the gut-brain axis, which is when, during digestion, a certain amount of whatever passes through the intestinal walls. It's completely normal. Everybody's body does it. You don't need to panic about it, except that some people's bodies do panic and it can trigger a migraine. At the time, that doctor suggested I do a FODMAP diet, which is a huge elimination diet, and then reintroducing foods to see what it is that could be making me sick or could be causing migraines. However, at that time, I developed chronic spontaneous urticaria. Yay! Urticaria is just another word for hives, and chronic spontaneous means that I can have allergic reactions to anything and everything at any given time, and boy, do I. I now live on antihistamines. The triggers that I mainly have are food, unfortunately. Things like wheat, corn, chickpeas, almonds, sulfites, the list is long, egg, honey, shellfish. It's no fun. It's no fun at all. So for the last couple of years, I've been dealing with a lot of food stress, a lot of trying to figure out what I can and can't eat for the urticaria. But now we've got to figure out what I can and can't eat for my stomach, because also for the last few years, I've been feeling sick every single time I eat. I get a lot of pain from all the way up between my ribs to all the way down in my pelvis. I get a distended stomach to the extent where I have trousers in 2 different sizes because I can't fit my normal clothes when this happens. Bit distressing, because it's painful, because I feel sick, because I don't know what I'm supposed to eat. And also, just mentally, I have body dysmorphia, so anything that distorts my body boggles my brain and I can't mentally deal with it. So I have finally taken the step that I should have taken a couple of years ago, whoopsies, and seen a gastroenterologist. What I have learned about seeing a gastroenterologist is that you should see a gastroenterologist. If you have stomach concerns, the internet is actually not helpful. It turns out that this is far more individualistic than you might believe it to be. There isn't a one-size-fits-all for dealing with your gut health. Talking with a gastroenterologist means you can pinpoint the things that you're dealing with specifically, and then they can handle that particularly. So, got my list here of things that I can no longer eat. Just to add on top of all the other things that I can't eat. And amazingly, it's a whole lot of things that I would categorize as good food, but not good for me. It's a lot of leafy greens, it's stone fruits. I can have things like pineapple and berries and kiwi, which is all good. She did me the favor and said I can still have capsicum and cucumber. For those of you who don't use the word capsicum, that's a bell pepper. But I can't have any kind of leafy greens or legumes or lentils, oh my gosh, or raw onion, so many things just to add on top of that. But worth it if it makes me feel better. I picked up this book to help me. It's just a cookbook because, as I've discovered talking to the gastroenterologist, there's no point simply reading any random book about gut health because it might not actually apply to you. But this, hopefully, has some recipes in it that will help me continue eating, and eating well rather than simply like smelling food and wishing I could eat it and not being able to. Naturally, the other concern I have is the energy to cook. Usually by the end of the day, I don't have energy to cook, so I'm going to be looking for recipes that I can prepare earlier, like maybe do right in the beginning of the day, stick in the fridge, and at the end of the night, when it's dinner time, I can heat it up and eat it then. Something like that. I've also been instructed that although I'm a vegetarian, I'm now going to have to be a pescatarian because my food is so restrictive. I need to have fish in my diet so I have some kind of protein. Don't love that, but fine. We'll deal with that. My next appointment with my gastroenterologist is in a month, and that is when I will be updating you as well of what it's been like eating like this for a month and what it's done for my stomach and my overall health. But as for right now, and our journey on this together, if this is something that you're looking at as well, I can confidently say that if you've got stomach issues going on, Dr. Internet is not all that helpful, and if you can get to a gastroenterologist, do. Personally, my gastroenterologist was cheaper than most of my other specialists, so that's good news. But I understand that, you know, specialists cost a lot of money. If it can be done, I do recommend that you do that because this was way more targeted and way more individual than I ever expected it to be. It's also, much like migraine, a developing type of medical field. We're still learning about it. There's still so much nobody knows anything about, and we're all just trying to figure it out together. But you and I are going to figure it out together over the next month. So I will report back to you then. Thank you for joining me on this. I'll let you know if I find any delicious and helpful recipes in this cookbook. And you can all laugh at me about how bad I am at cooking. Yay! I truly hate it. I truly hate cooking, so this sucks. But hey, whatever it takes, right? I will see you soon. Thanks for joining me. Bye.